Today's Toy Spot, we're having a look at the Playmates Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Classic Collection Donatello. Inspired by the original TMNT animated series, in this case 1988, the turtle Donatello features 34 points of articulation. I was so very impressed with the Leonardo. I certainly can't wait to get Donatello opened up. On the back of the package, all four turtles that you can get: Leonardo, Raphael, Michelangelo, Donatello. Again, my fingers are crossed. I really hope Playmates is loyal to this line. Very similar to how Mattel has been loyal to the Masters of the Universe Classics line. I hope they continue to churn these out with characters. You know, a foot soldier would be fantastic. A shredder, and I'd probably buy like 100. I wouldn't really, but I certainly would think about buying 100 foot soldiers. The read-up says Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are back like never before in a collector quality figures, featuring 34 points of articulation, signature weapons, and classic sewer cover bases. The perfect old school cartoon recreations will leave you screaming cowabunga. There's also a read-up here on the Turtles' history. I've already read that for Leonardo, so I'll leave that to be. What I am going to do, though, is I'm going to take a bit of a break. Certainly can't wait to get this opened up. And when we come back, we're going to get a better look at Donatello. There's definitely more to come. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. As with Leonardo, Donatello does come with a manhole-covered display stand. I'll keep my opinions brief, but again, I certainly did not need Donatello's name down there. I know some people would say, well, you know, it's nice that they've included it. Sure, absolutely, it's nice. It's nice that they also include a display stand in general. But I could have been easily fine with that just being left off and it's just a generic manhole cover. Again, that's not my reviewer's opinion. That's just my personal opinion. So I like that they did include that. Donatello is as equally impressive as Leonardo. They do share the exact same body, which is probably something common. I'll probably expect to find that with also Michelangelo and Raphael. It makes perfect sense because not only in the cartoon but the original toy line, the molds were the same. So, well, except for the heads. Now, you know, here's my thing. While Leonardo, I think, is a good face sculpt for Leonardo in the cartoon, as depicted in the cartoon, I don't necessarily think that Donatello has a very good face sculpt. Now, again, you could say, well, you know, it's an amalgamation of not only the original cartoon, but the original Playmates toy line as well, where a lot of the turtles had grimaced faces and they had, like, sneering and stuff like that. I don't know, though, being that Donatello is more the scientist, the more laid-back turtle, I don't know if I would necessarily have given him the sneer like that. Leo, it almost works, especially when he's, you know, lunging towards something with his katana blades. But Donatello, I think I would have been perfectly fine had this just been a closed mouth and maybe even a smile up there, maybe even something like that. I don't know. But he does have it. I don't think it's not enough to say, oh, don't, you know, avoid this figure at all costs, because it's still a fantastic figure. It has the same articulation as Leo does. Obviously, the strap on the shell is a little bit different because he does incorporate, or does include, his bow staff, which is nicely painted with a little white in the middle there. There's a little bit of bleed from the brown to the white, but certainly not enough to bother really anybody. It certainly would not bother me. You can have him holding the staff at the back of his shell, as he did in the original line and in the cartoon. Or you can actually have him just holding the staff as well. He has independently articulated fingers, so you can just take the staff, put it in between his fingers, and then just kind of close off his hand. Being that it's a little longer, he may not hold it as well, as you can see. It may slide in and out a little bit, but being that it's a nice long enough staff, you could have you know, Donatello holding it with both hands. which is probably what I'll do anyways. If I just get the other hand together. Obviously, you can hold it. You can have him pose a little bit better than what Spot has just done, but you get the idea. Also, very similar to Leo, you can remove this whole front strap on Donatello. I really don't know why you would want to, but the option is there. I really like the choice of coloring that they went with Donatello. He's a little darker in color, a little more olive, I guess olive green in color than that of his brother Leonardo, but I really like the choice of purple that they've chosen. It's really nice. I like it quite a bit. Some probably are not too keen on the fact that you can see the peg holes where all the joints are pieced together on the figure. I'm not really all that bothered by it because at least they've colored them in. It's nothing like the Thundercats toys where you have blatantly, obviously, black painted or left black peg holes. In this case, at least it's the same color, kind of blends in, doesn't really bother me all that much. Donatello's articulation. He has a ball-jointed head, which actually seems to move a little easier than his brother Leo. He has pin and socket shoulders, rotation in the bicep, a double bend in the elbow. He has a rotation in the hand. As I mentioned already, he has independently articulated fingers, right there, and a thumb, or finger, depending on how you want to look at it. A ball-joint upper torso, a pin and socket leg, so they go forward and back, in and out. Rotation in the thigh, double bend in the knee, bend in the foot, and independently bent toes. I'm also really glad that they have not gone with a pivoted ankle, which is something that plagued the Masters of the Universe classic figures. You can rotate the foot, you can bend it, but it doesn't have that pivot where you feel like the ankle is just going to fall apart, where the foot's going to come right off. I'm very, very happy that I picked up Donatello. Obviously, it's one of those things where once you start picking up one, you probably will end up picking up all four of them, unless you are very specific to one turtle, where you maybe only want a Michelangelo or a Leonardo, or in this case, Donatello. The only real gripe I can make is I really wish that they could have all been the same color, being that these are cartoon-inspired Turtles toys. I just really want the one color, you know, that kind of consistency. And I really would have liked a little bit different of a face on Donatello, but still, all things considered, this is a really, really great figure to get. If you are a Turtles fan, you're like myself, grew up watching the cartoon, I would definitely say pick these guys up. Donatello, by the way, I'm going to give him a 9. You know, again, really no real strikes except for maybe possibly the face. I would probably have done a little something different there. But today's Toy Spot, once again, I was having a look at the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles classic figures. We're looking today at Donatello. A very, very nice figure. Thanks for watching, guys. Certainly stick around. There are more Turtles reviews to come. And as always, I'll see you guys next time.